In this video, I'm not just going to tell you the top 7 signs to look out for spirit communication. I'm going to do one better. I'm going to show you how you can spot them the next time it takes place. By the end of this video, my friends, each and every one of you will never miss a sign from spirit again. That's my guarantee. The most prevalent of all signs is going to be having an inner thought. How many of you watching this video all of a sudden had the notion and idea to go to YouTube, to go and watch a video, and then this popped up? This, my friends, is the spirit world working with each and every one of you. And a likeness to that, how many of you have just been doing random things in just the most bizarre and crazy thought will pop into your head? You know in those moments that it's not of your own mind. You know that you wouldn't be thinking that. You know you wouldn't want to say that in those moments. However, in that second, you know something that you can't explain is taking place. This, my friends, is 100% the spirit world getting you information using your claircognizant abilities. The next time it happens, what I would like you to do is to welcome it. Embrace it for the magical moment that you are sharing with the spirit world. For 5 seconds, hold on to it. And tell the spirit world that you acknowledge what they have said in those moments. The next sign is even stronger, and I can guarantee each and every one of you will be doing this in your everyday life without even thinking. How many times have you been walking to work and you've seen a bus that's come past and it's got numbers on? Not just angelic numbers, but it's going to be a sequence of numbers, patterns that each and every one of you are going to spot. These are signs from the spirit world. You call it a coincidence, but I call it spirit communication. The spirit world are actively getting you symbiology. They are getting you information that you are aware of, information that they know you are picking up on. It's effectively like the spirit world dipping the toe in the water, metaphorically speaking, to see how engaged you are with them, to see how much you are learning, to see how much you are beginning to become aware of the energy. Also, with this, we can use our clairaudient abilities where we are listening, and guess what? It's going to be with songs. How many of you have just been stowed in your kitchen and you thought about a song and that song has played? This, my friends, isn't a coincidence, and it's also actually not as spooky as you might suggest. It's very simple. The spirit world are working with you in those moments. They are allowing you to know psychically and mediumistically that this song is going to play, and that song is dedicated to you. Yes, I'm not saying that the radio producers, and no, I'm not saying that they're pulling the strings of the radio stations making them play that music, but they are masters of time. They can sculpt scenarios to aid you along your divine spiritual path. Therefore, if they know your greatest song is, I don't know, I'm not even going to say any because I don't know if I'm allowed to say them on here. For example, if you have a song that's called I Rock the Boat, I mean, I don't even know if that's a real song. I hope it's not because I might get into trouble. If that's I Rock Your Boat is one of the greatest songs that you loved, and it was one of the most fondest memories that you shared with your loved one here on planet Earth, and you are just all of a sudden thinking about them, and you think of that song and you remember a cherished moment, and then it comes on the radio. Do you think for one moment that it's a coincidence? I know a lot of you are pre-programmed to believe it is, but that, my friends, is spirit communication at its best. What I want you to do with this one is the next time that it takes place, again, I need you to welcome it. Ask for more. Acknowledge that that song was for you. Acknowledge that those numbers you were meant to see. Angelic numbers also, 2222, 1111, all of your different angelic numbers, all of your different symbols, anything that in a moment you believe is from spirit, start accepting it. Stop dismissing it. Stop doing what mankind have educated you to believe, that you are good enough to receive. You are all good enough to receive. And let's come over to sign number 3. It's one of the most realist, but a lot of you choose to ignore it. How many of you have had dreams where you just can't... Listen, I've got to be honest, right? My dreams with spirit are mental, and I say this all of the time. My dreams aren't my own dreams no more. And whilst a lot of you are like, well, actually, that's like horrendous. I remember what dreams used to be like. Dreams used to be a collection of thoughts that maybe I had went through a situation and I didn't fully understand it. Maybe I felt fear. Maybe there was some sort of emotional distress. In a dream, you are logically going to start comprehending it. what happens is you will go into fight or flight in any given moment, in any given day. Maybe you felt silly or somebody's ridiculed you, all of these different things. In that horrible fear that has been put into the forefront of your mind, your brain's like, no, I don't want to deal with this now. We're going to put it to the back of the mind. Therefore, all of this negative emotion that's going to affect the day-to-day processes of your living being goes to the back of the mind. It goes into like a filing cabinet. It just gets put away. When we go into a sleep-like state and we drop into a lower theta, this is when the brain goes, well, actually, hang on a minute. Jordan didn't feel too good in that scenario. Why don't we bring that to his attention now? He's in a sleep. He's not going to get distressed. We can try and work through it. We can try and deal with it. How many of you have had dreams where it just didn't feel real? It didn't feel like any of a normal dream. Normal dreams to me were getting chased by jelly beans or sausage rolls or, just having weird interactions where you'd wake up and you'd laugh. How many of you have woke up and you've been in hot sweats or you've just been absolutely utter in disbelief at what you've seen in a dream? That's because they are called visitations from the spirit world. Visitations from the spirit world are very, very real. They are not demonic. They are not something that you should be scared of. They are something that you should welcome. All of you, I can guarantee, and especially if you found this channel, you have had visitations. The spirit world will actively come to each and every human being before they even go into their mediumship state. Mediumship is one of the things that it's when you begin to believe in the person that you are and how you can help humanity. Mediumship's about owning it. Mediumship's about being able to prove with evidence of the afterlife. But before we get into the mediumship phase, there's a lot more building blocks that needs to be. And you can't just become a medium. You've literally got to learn the understandings that are going to help you to usher you into becoming the great medium that you are ought to be. Therefore, this starts with your dreams. Each and every one of you, let me know down in the comments one of the most bizarre dreams that you've had. And I'll tell you another little thing for free. A dream of spirit you will never forget. I know there's going to be a lot of you who might have had scary dreams. You might have even had, honestly, I've had loads of crazy dreams, especially when my message of help, heal, serve. A very, very bold statement, and one of the very, very bold moves that I've made with this is with the spirit world is I don't protect from the spirit world. You have to protect from poor understandings and bad teachings. A good understanding supersedes the notion of protection. When I was first entrusted with helping people to understand that being the truth and the one and only truth, the spirit world would put me into tests. When I went into my dreams, I would be faced with what each and every one of you depict as demons. I mean, I work with them anyway, but a lot of you would call them demons and entities and horrible little words that mankind had for things that they don't fully understand. I would be cast into rooms with monsters and I would have to stand my ground and I would have to say, you do not need to protect from the spirit world or the realms. You have to protect from poor understandings and bad teachings. And that was the spirit world's way of saying, well, actually, hang on, does Jordan genuinely believe the words that he's speaking? Is he the right person for this message? Does he put his full trust in us? And of course I do. And each and every one of you should. Also, we're talking about dreams here, but visitations come in many shapes and different sizes and forms. You can have sleep paralysis and you have many different things that can happen within the human form that are medical conditions. But you can also see spirits in your bedroom at night. Don't think that just 3 o'clock is going to be the witching hour where the veil becomes finished and spirit will come. They'll come to you at any time. I've proven it time and time again. Spirit will can come to you any time that they see fit. For evidential purposes, what's going to help you to overcome a hurdle or help you with some sort of emotional turmoil that's going on, or even just to give you that peace of mind that the spirit world are there. When you start your mediumship journey, you may start to see the spirit world. Might not just be in dreams. You might start to visually see them using clairvoyance. If you are experiencing nighttime activity, you are feeling the spirit world at night, maybe you're not seeing them, maybe you're having dreams and you just know that they're not your dreams no more. I want you to start documenting this down. Don't be scared of it. Don't think that something's gone wrong and there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with any of us. We've been led to believe that there is something wrong with us because we can prove with evidence of the afterlife. Mankind don't like it. They don't like it when we help other people. They don't like it when we are selfless. Unfortunately, most of mankind have become egotistical and selfish with that. Therefore, Do not for 1 minute think that you are being persecuted or punished or penalized by the spirit world for your mediumistic abilities. Each and every one of you are going to go on to become great mediums, and it all starts with the documenting your journey, because it goes in a blink of an eye. The next sign is one that gives a lot of people goosebumps in the first instance. Their body reacts violently in very different ways. This is going to be temperature changes. I'm not on about as well if you are living in a big stately home, or you are even just living in a home that maybe has a draft. Maybe you have single glazed windows. These are things that we can prove which would cause air fluctuations in temperature, increases, decreases, and environmental factors and changes within everything around you. We can prove that. That is logical within the human mind. What I'm talking about is you being in a hot room and all of a sudden you feeling a cold draft encircling your human form. And in that moment, you know that there is something there with you, something that you can't explain, something that you can't put your finger on. But you just know, it's a deep knownness. The thing that I would say to you all for this, right, and I don't want to take the magical thing away from it, but when it comes to temperature fluctuations, there's a lot of things that we've got to take into consideration. This could be brought on by changes within your hormonal imbalance. It could be something to do with a medical problem that you have. It may be down to the medication you are taking. It may be many different things. It may be that the heating's gone up. But once we have eliminated all of those, and you know in your heart of heart that this is spirit communication taking place, or it's something of a spirit nature taking place, more importantly, then we have to start believing in it. We have to start welcoming and embracing it. And if you at any point experience this, then what we should do is we should stop where we are and we should thank the spirit world. Thank the spirit world for allowing you to feel them on those moments. And also ask what you would like to feel next in terms of what sense. If you are picking up on environmental changes, then what you should do is say, I'm now ready to see you. And I know a lot of you might get a bit freaked out by that. You might want to hear them instead. Some people don't like to see the spirit world. Some people just might like to hear. Ask them to speak to you. It's all about creating your own validation through the experiences that you are having on this planet. Only you are going to make yourself a medium. You can have teachings from me, from Joe Blogs, from any other medium, but it's only through your own personal validation that you are going to be able to achieve this. And this is what I need you all to do. The next time you feel a cold spot or you feel something envelop your human form, because it's distinct. It's not just like a breeze going past you. When you feel the spirit world going past you, my friends, you feel it. You can't dismiss it. The next time you feel that, welcome it, embrace it, have fun with it. The next sense is one that the spirit world have used countless of times, and I've got documented proof and evidence of this happening in every paranormal location that I've been to, on tours, or even just when I've been sitting in my room. This is the use of electronical equipment making lights flicker go off. How many of you seen the video where I was just talking about working alongside of the realms? The realms are different spirit. And then the light behind us just got completely knocked over. I was nowhere near it. It just literally come tumbling over. Just when anyone gets an opportunity, if you could let us know just before we go ahead, because I'm renowned and notorious for. Oh, also, we've just released a video today. Yes, it's fine. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. So we've just... Oh, that gives us a scare. Me bloody lighting's just been pulled down there. Did you see that on camera? That was class. I got a fright though. Me entire light. I've got like a massive standing up light. Watch, I'll show you. Watch, it's just literally being pulled over. Watch. Can you see the size of that? It's literally just been pulled over. Well, that was an interesting start to the live stream, wasn't it? Sorry, everyone. I've put it lopsided in the background there. You've just seen that firsthand there. Just completely just pulled straight out. My friends, the spirit will love manipulating and using electronical devices to show you that they are there. It can be quite scary, can't it, to think that there are unseen energies that can manipulate your electronics. How many of you would be freaked out if I said that they could turn on and off your TVs? They could unplug your phone off charge. I know these are all like terrifying statements because we are a society that's built up on needing technology, but they can. I've got proof and evidence to support that they can take energy from lights. And when I say energy, right, there's going to be a lot of you like, what do you mean? Without going down the scientific avenue, I've had torches, and these aren't the torches that scammers use and you've seen. I'm on about just a normal torch, a high power output torch, thousands of lumens, and they, on command, can drain the power in the light source out of it, which is phenomenal. And then you can ask the spirit world to let it go back to full power, and you just see it getting brighter and brighter and brighter. This one of the things that I've noticed, right, in what you've got to realize is, especially when we're coming into a paranormal aspect, we as paranormal investigators and as mediums use electronical equipment to be able to capture and document. Therefore, it makes full sense that they can manipulate these items. It makes full sense that they can put their vocal tone, they can also take and draw energy. How many of you, right, have been in, not even just on a paranormal location, maybe you've been to a friend's house and you've been speaking about the spirit world and you've been having a little ghost night or whatever, and all of a sudden your equipment drains. This is notorious. Every time I go to a location to prove of the afterlife, I ask the spirit world not to touch me batteries. I'm big on it. Sometimes they do still do it, but not as much, to be quite fair. When they realise that I've only got one battery left and I need to record it, they don't do it. However, is that because they need that electric? Is it because they need electricity to become something? No, they don't need it to manifest. They're already here. They're already amongst us. Like the air that we breathe, an abundance of scientific equipment can prove of the energy realm's existence. They don't need our electricity. Trust is when I say that. They are energy beings. It's all around us, like the air that we breathe. So why do they need ours? But because they are predominantly energy beings, it's very easy for them to be able to manipulate things within the materialistic plane. They can manipulate water. They can manipulate smoke, which is another thing that I found was absolutely phenomenal when they told us that they could do. And then I can't remember how it happened. It was, I think what it was is we were doing like a tour, and there was lots of steam, you know, from people's voices. Not from people's voices, it comes from your breath, doesn't it? When there's a fluctuation between the temperature and your breath. And I seen faces through this. And I know there's going to be a lot of people say, oh, well, that's completely logical. This is completely... I'm not just talking about what I wanted to see in those moments. I seen faces. I captured it on evidence. One of the biggest things with spirit communication is using ITC, electronic transcommunication devices. This is going to allow you and enable you to be able to work effectively with the spirit world and to capture some of their evidence. It all ties into electronics. And whilst I'm not saying you can only communicate using electronics, you could literally have two sticks together and ask the spirit world to do it. Or you could just put a stick on a little bit of water and ask them to spin it certain ways. In this respect, if you think that the spirit world can't flicker your lights, they can't turn off your TV, they can't switch off your phone, believe me, my friends, they can. And the next time that they do it, don't freak out. Don't be scared. Maybe if you're getting frustrated, ask them not to do it. If you are watching the TV and it keeps turning over to a different channel that they might have liked, accept that they're there. Accept that you want to watch what you want to watch, and just tell them and do it. And it'll stop. I can 100% guarantee it. The only time they'll do anything, it isn't to cause panic, stress, or alarm. It's there to aid you. It's there to prove without any doubt or any shadow or inkling that they are not there. They want you to know they're there with you in every given moment. Let's come over to sign number 6, which is deeply subtle, but also just as deeply personal. Have you ever been somewhere and all of a sudden you smell your loved one? You smell the aroma that they used to have. You smell their perfume. You smell everything about you. Your senses are going into hyperdrive. They may have liked a special cologne, a special aftershave. There was just something uniquely to them that you knew their smell. You could be out in the wilderness, and on this one day, you are now walking. You've got the breeze coming past you. You've got the rustling of the trees all over around. A lovely picturesque scene, and you smell your loved one. In those moments, you know that not only can you smell them, you know they're with you in those moments, and you have been using your clear senses to be able to decode and to be able to sense your loved one. A lot of you will put this down to your wants, needs and desires to be able to communicate with your loved one. And of course you're going to. How many of us want to communicate with our loved ones? All of us do. Anyone who says they don't are just absolute barefaced liars. Everyone wants to believe that there's an afterlife. Yes, there are some people who don't believe in the afterlife, but that's not down to their own education. That's down to the way that mankind has believed and allowed them to perceive what the spirit world is. Maybe if they had been on a different path and they had seen evidential mediumship and they had seen the authentic side to it and they had had all of the connections taking place that they needed to see to believe, then they would believe in it. They wouldn't be on that path. But sadly, we live in a day and age where the majority of people are scamming. You've got the majority of people who don't bring forward evidence. You've got the majority of people who aren't there to be selfless. They are selfish, each and every step that they take. And that's why there are a lot of people who don't believe it. And we've got to understand and acknowledge that sometimes that's all right. When you are out and about, it's not the wants, needs and desires of yourself to smell a loved one. I need you to start believing that they're there with you in that moment. Because mark my words, 100% of the time, they are there with you trying to get you a sign. But what we don't do is we don't listen, we don't see. And in this case, we don't smell. We don't accept what we are smelling. We don't accept that we could be good enough in that moment. We don't accept through the conditioning that we've had by mankind the suppression tactics on every one of our clear senses and our understandings and ideologies that we shouldn't be able to communicate with our loved ones in that way. Therefore, the next time this happens, what I want each and every one of you to do is to say a message to your loved one and know that they are going to hear. Know that they are just responding right back. And whether you are developed in mediumship or you are at the very, very beginning stages, know that they are communicating back to you. Whilst you may not fully understand, be able to hear, acknowledge or perceive what they are saying back, know that they are. Because my friend, this journey is just starting to begin for you. These are the ideologies that you need to catapult you through your mediumship journey. Accept, embrace, and welcome everything that comes back from that moment on. If even one of these signs has made sense to you or you've experienced it, believe me, my friends, the spirit world have been reaching out to you and you've just not spotted it. You've not known how to counter it. You've now got an arsenal of different hacks that you can use to be able to authenticate that spirit communication. If you haven't experienced any of these, don't worry. There's still plenty of time. Start asking. Asking you will receive. If you did enjoy this video, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, make sure the notification bell is on. Every Thursday, 7:30 PM time, we do have the classroom for all of the members. In the post section, you will see the link. If you did enjoy this, why don't you check out the videos pinned at the top left and the right? And also, don't forget, we do have the How to Become a Psychic Medium series, where we'll take you on a deep dive on every topic that you need to know. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.